Hey guys, today we're talking about my favorite airsoft toy, and it is the Tokyo Marui URG-I and GRS. And this thing is my best rifle. And just to give you guys some context, I play airsoft here in Japan, so this thing is tuned and well equipped for that context. So we're gonna go tip to butt and figure out why this thing is my favorite rifle. So going from the tip, we have a Surefire flash hider that came with the gun. It is covered in dirt right now because I haven't cleaned this thing because I use this thing outdoors and it has seen a lot of dirt as I play pretty rough with my man toys. Okay, so moving down, we have the front sight post, flippable. Use that for CQB so I can actually do a lower third co-witness when I'm about to shoot through cracks or holes or something like that, and offhand shooting. And on this side, we have a M-lock rail that is literally just for decoration. I could potentially put a flashlight on here or a run cam if I ever do decide to get one of those. But on this side, we have a replica Surefire 600C. And this thing is about 450 lumens or 300, which is attached to a pressure pad, which is inside of a pocket, a cloud defensive pocket, which is really nice because this very, very slim Geisley style handguard is very smooth and it lets me C-clamp really easily, which brings me down to this tactical foregrip. No, it is a hand stop, and this thing just lets me grip this very, very thin rifle really easily. And it has some nice decorative M-lock things here to actually help me grip these really, really smooth Geisley Mark IV. So, style rifle. So moving down, we have some electrical tape. This is literally just for decoration, just to add some accent. If I do need electrical tape, I can take it from here. I think I've used it one time to help someone out. And we have a QD. Now this QD is kind of sucky because it doesn't actually travel the whole way. It actually kind of gets stuck here. So be prepared to damage your handguard. So if you want to use the QD, so that kind of sucks, but whatever, you get used to it as you want to rough and tough up this gun. The 14.5 inch handguard is actually really, really nice. It's very, very light and it's very smooth, and it allows me to actually use my long, lanky ass arms and have a full length of pull when I'm using this thing, which is kind of the problem I have with SBRs because I end up chicken winging it because they're so short, but this thing is the perfect length. Receiver is just the standard receiver you get with the NGRS. The magazines I like to use are the EPMs, and I set them to 30 rounds, and they are the NGRS type, so they actually have the bolt style function. You all know I run 30 round magazines, and I also use the steel mags that it comes with, and I run about 5 of them on my person. We have the mock bolt. This thing actually does function, so when you actually run out of ammo, they will stop functioning, so then you have to actually hit the bolt to make it work. Unfortunately, the charging handle does not do anything. It is literally just a dummy charging handle, which is quite a shame because it's a Geisley style one, which is really cool, and it's quite popular, and people really want this. It's really expensive. Move on to the other side here. We have our dummy bolt, but this actually does reciprocate because it is an NGRS system, which is really cool, and gives you that nice felt recoil. And the recoil, honestly, is kind of like a massage, but you do feel it when you shoot really fast. You feel it in full auto, and you feel it when you're doing long shots from very far away. That recoil will slightly disrupt the shot, but again, it's just a gimmick, but I love it a lot. So we actually have a hard pin on the receiver here because of the full auto and the NGRS system, this body pin actually falls out quite easily, so I had to replace it with a Lilacs one. The one that is supposed to be for the 416, and I haven't had problems there since. The safety select. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky because inside this gearbox, I have the Titan. I have the NGRS Titan, which is why this thing is the best rifle I have, because it has the response of the gods, which is what the NGRS system sucks about. So in CQB, when you have to like really respond really fast and just really tap that trigger and do half trigger pulls or something like that, well, it will just fully cycle because on an NGRS system, you have to do full trigger pulls for it to actually cycle or it will lock up. But with the Titan, it solves all that. So it also makes the fire select not have to run through any gears. So it's just like free floating and just kind of running on that lever arm inside that's supported by the Titan digitally. But one of the bad things I don't like about this rifle is that because there's a Titan in here, I can't actually pull the trigger. It's a ghost trigger. It's literally nothing. So even with the standard AEG, like you'll have a little bit of weight when you're pulling, but this thing has like literally zero weight. So it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's the price you got to pay for really, really good trigger response. I did have an issue with the safety select at some point, and it was uncalibrated. So I was like full autoing people, even if I had the safety select kind of like off by a little bit, because I am always manipulating the safety. So if it was off by a bit, I'll be full autoing someone. But I fixed that. I just recalibrated the thing and it was fine. Now we go back to the grip, and this is kind of the issue of why I don't like this gun the most. So the grip, I changed back to a A2, to a 10 A2. At one point, I had the Magpul PTS EPG on here, which is that nice one with the the back strap, but that didn't quite fit in it, and what it was doing, it was actually pushing the gearbox to the left, which ends up making my rifle have a slanted buffer tube, as you can see here. So it's a very, very slight slant to the left, but it doesn't actually affect the performance at all, or the piston or anything like that, but it is quite the OCD cheese. So we switched it back, and the problem still persisted. It is quite the mystery. So I think I would have to just get a whole new unit if I wanted to fix that issue with the slanted buffer tube. But hey, beggars can't be choosers on that one. So the last thing would be the stock. And this thing is the PTS stock, because it gives me a lot of space to work with my Dean's connection here. Because the regular stock, if you get the regular crane stock, you have to put it through this little tiny hole. And the amount of times my tech and I had to fix this thing, it was just a pain in the ass. So I just got a new stock for this, and it's just been blessed ever since. And I can fit all kinds of batteries in here now, because with the regular crane stock, you can't really fit anything other than these really tiny ass batteries. But with this, you can fit the big stick chocolate batteries and stuff like that. So it's really great. So I run this on 7.4, and it's nice. And I have a sling point on here because that's where I like to put the sling. But sometimes if I'm in CQB, I can switch it off for, something around here, or, over here with the Tokyo Marui attachment, where I can do that. And I can't take this off like that. Okay. So yeah, yes. And of course, on top, I have my standard setup anyway is my EOTech EXPX20 real steel. It's just amazing and it's awesome. But I do want to set this up as a rec rifle and put a scope on it. I do have a scope, but I don't have the mount high enough for it to be high enough for me. So I currently don't use that. And I kind of want to use that for woodland someday. But I'm also thinking about just getting like a SIG Juliet and just putting it on here, because I have an EOTech, so the hologram will actually stay the same size rather than turning bigger when I magnify it. So thinking about doing that. But other than that, guys, this thing is my best rifle by far, best performance, really, really good length. Even for CQB, if I want to, I can just shoulder the rifle like this because of the pistol grip. The A2 grip is actually really, really nice to do that, to be honest with you. Because with the EPG, I had a straighter angle, so it was kind of harder to do that, and I had to hold it like this. But with the A2, man, I can just go in, man. So I can just really reduce this thing like this, do whatever, and it's just really nice for my big lanky arms. But anyway, guys, that's all we got for today. What's your favorite gun? What's your favorite gun on my channel? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. It's a goddamn toy! Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.